Shay Theodore signs a 7-year, $7.4 million AAV extension on Thursday. Can't say that we saw this coming for the 29-year-old VGK defenseman. We will have our reaction next on this edition of Locked On Golden Knights.
You're Locked On Golden Knights, your daily podcast on the Vegas Golden Knights, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Well, hi again, everyone. Tony Cardasco and Chris Golick after dark from Las Vegas with this weekend edition, this WTF edition of Locked On Golden Knights. Thanks for making us your first listen each and every day. You can find us wherever you get your podcast. Please make sure to subscribe to our Locked On Golden Knights YouTube channel. We are brought to you today by FanDuel. Go to FanDuel.com, America's #1 sports book. So, Chris, I was surprised to say
you're so excited to get to the content. You just zap through all that.
I know. I am very excited because it was a surprising day, if you will, in VGK land. Well, I was surprised to say the least when VGK announced today that Shay Theodore's contract extension was happening. And we mentioned yesterday, even of late, that it's a contract year. We've said it millions of times on the show for Shay Theodore when we were talking about a possible Golden Knights blue liner trade. And this really constitutes a raise for Shay Theodore in the neighborhood of about $2 million a year. But this was all about term, I would suspect, mostly a 7-year contract. He's age 29. At some point, all these long-term contracts have got to come back to haunt VGK. They do. And I thought that VGK would just kind of drag this out. They would do their standard, let's talk about this. We'll have discussions after the end of the season. But no, this was a big surprise to me. I think to the fan base. Let's get your reaction, Mr. Chris Golick.
We got a lot to cover here for the Shay Theodore deal. Number one, where does this match up with the NHL's, highest paid defenseman? 7.4 is going to put him right above Noah Hannafin by a couple $100,000, right, or by about $100,000 right there. So puts him at the 28th mark. Morgan Riley, Aaron Ekblad, Jared Spurgeon, Dmitry Orlov, Quinn Hughes, Shea Weber.
Shea Weber. Is he still on?
Shea Weber is still getting some money. Brent Burns, John Carlson, Trouba. Those are some of the $8 million ones. So
when you look at the players, extend Shea Weber, did they extend him?
They might have. But I think they got Utah taking 75% of the salary. So when you look at the players he's paid around, it definitely makes sense. Some other comparables loosely: a Roman Josi making $9 million, Cale Makar making $9 million, Pietrangelo making $8.8 million. So just kind of a walk to see other players and what they're making. Shay Theodore comes down to health, I think. If Shay Theodore can put together a healthy campaign, he can outperform not his current 5.2 AAV. I think that's what it is. He can easily outperform this AAV. And really quick, one last note. Here's what I think the deal maker was in all of this.
Hang on, I got it. He wound up spiking at the Halloween party, Foley, and the made men's their punch. That's what happened. He spiked.
I was going to say it's the no trade clause and everything.
Oh, okay.
So according to Puckpedia, 1 through 5, there's no trade clause. 6 and 7, there's a 15 team no trade clause. So it seems like the Golden Knights will be able to move on from Shay Theodore. I'm not saying they're going to move on from him, but when the time is right, I think they will be able to, depending on what happens. So in years 1 through 5 of this extension, Shay Theodore is a Golden, or 1 through 4, Shay Theodore is going to 1 through 5. Shay Theodore is a Golden Knight. 6 and 7, half the teams in the league basically he can be traded to.
Okay, a total of $51.975 million. Baby Theo needs new shoes. First 2 years, right? $9.5 million, $9.5 million. Heavily weighted towards the front end. And then, of course, he's in the $5 million range later on. Big Head Hockey had those stats. The last 82 games for Shay Theodore, 10 goals, 61 assists, 71 points, 82 games over what? 5 seasons?
Yeah, I mean, from a career perspective,
You didn't get that
500.
one. Yeah,
What's that?
it's okay. I said 82 games over the last 5 seasons.
Yeah, no, that math doesn't make
Yeah,
sense.
that didn't add up. Okay.
500 career games, 313 career points, but that pace has certainly gone upward by a lot. I mean, 17-18, Shay Theodore played 61 games and got all of 29 points. Following season, 79 games, 37 points, and then you really see it start to tilt a little bit more recently. So, I mean, everything checks out here. I do think there was some of the Jonathan Marchessault impact on this as well.
Yes.
Don't think the Golden Knights wanted another one of these situations. I don't think at some point the questions were going to start coming from the media, from Shea
No, they
about
weren't.
Shea
No, they
Theodore.
weren't. No, they were. Our media here in Vegas, no, they weren't.
I would like to think someone would have had the stones to put it up there, but who knows? Point being is still they don't want the speculation. Put you like that. They don't want the speculation. They don't want the conversation happening. And Shay Theodore is important to the organization, definitely. So I didn't see this coming. Literally 24 hours ago, you and I are talking about Shay Theodore possibly getting traded, and not just us. It's been in the hockey news and many other outlets all summer long. So this is good for him, good for the family, good for the VGK fan base. And one of my tweets I put out there today, this is where we're lucky to support this team, whether it's a fan capacity, a journalistic-ish capacity, wherever the heck we are these days.
Alleged.
Because Kelly McCrimmon, Foley, the McPhee, they're not going to settle for a mid team that isn't able to compete. They think at City National that this team could compete for a Stanley Cup this year. And I'm glad they think that. Maybe they can, maybe they can't, but that's the goal every season. That's the goal for the next 5 seasons now. That's the goal for the next 5 seasons. So imagine being a Sharks fan. Oh, we got to suck, so we get Celebrini. Blackhawks had a terrible run. They got Bedard, and those are going to pay dividends down the road. But imagine being in that spot. Or worse, imagine being Buffalo, who are getting some draft picks. They're getting some players, but they're not even close to a contender to make the playoffs, let alone a Stanley Cup. So Golden Knight fans, we're lucky to be in this spot right now. And tomorrow or today at the game, Shay Theodore is probably going to be in the starting lineup and get a rousing ovation. And this is good. This is exciting.
Okay, so crystal ball it. Ben Hutton, I think now is odd man out. I think just
he's been the
based
odd
on
man out. To be fair,
nothing
changed.
Be fair, nothing changed. Okay, but he could be traded. I'm thinking he'll be on the trade block. I do. I mean, why? I don't know why they would need him right now.
31. He makes $975. He's going to go somewhere else and maybe be the 7th defenseman instead of the 8th defenseman.
Fair.
I mean,
fair. Okay.
So I don't know. I mean, if there's anyone to watch
in Utah, he could play in Utah.
A lot of players can play in Utah right now, given their situation. I mean, if there's one person I'm going to look at right now, possibly Zach Whitecloud. I think Nick Hague is pretty safe. I think he's got a unique skill set as far as his size. He's a good skater. He's got a heck of a shot when it presents himself. So, I mean, Hague could bring a big return, but I also think they stand pat for this season unless things go bad and the team is faltering come playoff time. Then you might see something happen. Zach Whitecloud could bring a heck of a return if they're going to make a deal. Hague could bring a heck of a return. You're not seeing anything with Hanifin and Pietrangelo at this point. So, I think they stand pat with their 8 defensemen, and it's not just about this year, but it's about next year too.
Well, the next 4 or 5 years, they're going to pretty much have to be pat, right? So when does this team finally get old once and for all? At the end of his contract term, we will have Shay Theodore at age 36. So when does this team finally, it all starts to set in? And then no one wants any of these players who are in the twilight of their careers. They don't want the salary. They don't want anything.
Listen, winning Stanley Cups has a price. The Golden Knights paid it last year and might pay it again this year. Florida Panthers got to the Stanley Cup, didn't win it, so they just ran it back and won it. Well, now they might pay for it this year. So there's, the chickens are going to come to roost at some point, right? There's going to be a price to pay for this, but it's not. I mean, it's kind of happening right now to a degree, right? We've seen 2 different versions of this team. The Golden Knights this year, when they've been tested, haven't done very well. When they've been in opportunistic situations, they've done very well. Right. They get a Senators team tomorrow. We'll talk about that a little more in depth. But I mean, I don't think we're going to learn a whole lot about the Vegas Golden Knights against Ottawa today. San Jose Saturday, or even Cal Gary on Monday. I think the true test about the Golden Knights, what kind of team do we have? That's going to get answered on the road trip, right? I mean, you got basically 7 of 8 games on the road starting Wednesday the 13th. Couple Anaheim and Utah, they come back. Logan Thompson comes to visit on the 17th, and then I don't know if that's the circus trip Eric runs Rabbers, or if this is just why this 5-game trip happens. But they got a 5-game trip coming where they go to Canada and out east and in Colorado. So that's when we're going to really see what this team is about.
And of course, fans are asking, will Mrs. Theo stay till the end of the contract?
The over hit that we made it to 1040 without that pun. So good job.
Coming up next, we have, there's one game. There's 2 weekend games. Actually, one game against the Senators.
There's one NHL team, one AHL team.
It's a scrimmage against the Sharks on Saturday night. Oh,
tryout for Team Canada.
So rigged. Back-to-backs, tail end. The Sharks. Back with more right after this on this WTF edition of Locked On Golden Knights. Fans, we are brought to you today by PrizePicks. That is the best place for you to get real money sports action with over 10 million members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings. PrizePicks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. You just pick more or less, at least a couple of players for a shot to win up to 100 times your cash. And you could run your game all season long on PrizePicks. PrizePicks, the only real money daily fantasy platform with an injury insurance policy, so your lineups stay in play. So even if one of your players, let's say, gets injured, if your player leaves in the first half and does not return, PrizePicks keeps your lineup live. That's right. And that's pretty much unheard of. PrizePicks puts all of its members first. So all of the withdrawals are fast and safe and secure. And when my picks hit, which is every blue moon, I can get my money in as quick as 15 minutes. Sign up today. You'll get $50 instantly when you play just $5. You don't even need to win to receive this $50 bonus. It is guaranteed. And PrizePicks is the best way to win real money this football season. Which players are going off? Which ones are not? Make your picks in less than 60 seconds, and it'll take your turn. Your sports opinions will be turned into real money all season long. Once again, download the app today. Use the promo code LOCKEDONNHL, and you will get $50 instantly when you play just $5 at PrizePicks. Back on this edition of Locked On Golden Knights. You okay there, bro? Okay. We appreciate you tuning in. Thanks for making us your first listen each and every day. We are kind of speeding up because we can't wait to get to WTF tonight. I don't know. This is, of course,
I'm chilling. I'm good.
Oh, no. Okay. It is Locked On Golden Knights. You see my Reb shirt. Go Rebels, the alma mater, Friday night. So we do have the traditional Nevada Day matinee, and that will be on Friday versus Ottawa at 3 p.m. And then Saturday night, that scrimmage against San Jose and the Sharks, VGK, a full 24 hours.
They're going to lose. They're going to lose that game against the Sharks.
A full 24 hours, though. How many teams can afford that in back-to-backs? Okay, to recover and such. So the story, first Ottawa, the story there is no Linus Ullmark. He's been out now for 12 days. They say that it is a muscle strain. They don't say where. Pretty much, he had a maintenance day and never came back. That was what the case there. And the thing about it is that now they are minus Ullmark, and they have a little bit of an issue there between the pipes. So it will be Anton Forsberg back after a couple of seasons ago. Remember, he had the MCL surgeries on both knees, and he'll be going up against Aiden Hill. So Aiden Hill, 8th worst goalie in expected goals against, and 3rd in the category is Anton Forsberg. Where I'm headed with this, take the stinking over, okay? That's going to be my prediction. And could we do locks of the night? Whatever. Locks of the day. I just think that this is going to be a back and forth, up and back sort of game. I remember the first season going to that Nevada Day affair in which it was, what, 7-0
Who got the
over
shutout?
the
Who got the
Avalanche?
shutout? Who got the shutout?
Fleury. No.
Fleury was hit.
Can't remember.
Oscar
I was there.
Dansk.
Oscar Dansk. I knew it was some rando. Yeah, Oscar Dansk. Okay, so, whoa, that's fair. So any other comments on this Ottawa team? Oh, they are very good on the power play. Let me point that out as well. 2 power play goals against the Kings for VGK, and Travis Green's Ottawa Senators now power play goals in 4 straight games. Mr. Golick, 9 total power play goals, but they are the 6th lowest ranked team in 5 versus 5. So this is an interesting game. I think it's going to be up and down the ice, and I think there's going to be a lot of goals scored. What is your opinion?
If you want to in-game the LA Kings versus Sharks, this is real-time Thursday night. Kings are up 3-0 in the first. They are currently minus 14,000. So you have to wager $14,000 to get $100 right now on that in-game bet. Golden Knights minus 150. You got 6.5 on the over-under, Tony. Shaded a little bit on the over at minus 120 right now. So, but minus 150, I don't know. Is that the right number? I don't know. I mean, maybe they're taking the curse of the white jerseys that all the fans hate, Frost the Fortress. It's something that they've been doing since day one, but if there's one tradition I think Golden Knight fans can agree on, they would.
Gold buckets? No gold.
I wish they'd wear white. I wish they would just do something to break the internet.
Those are the
gold
worst.
On gold, white on gold. I mean, it would be so much fun. Ottawa's fast. Ottawa's good on the transition. So you set up and back, Tony. This could really be a run and gun game. It could be a 7-6, a 5-3 affair. Something crazy like that could definitely be in store. I don't know if it'll get that crazy, but I can definitely see a 5-3 type of game. If Karlsson comes back, I'll let you, start karate chop in the air for that. But, Anton Forsberg forced 4 appearances, 2-1. So it looks like he had a relief appearance somewhere there. 904.
Allmark's 1-1, 1-1.
1-1, yeah. But Forsberg, 904 save percentage. Okay, 294 goals against, fine. Both those metrics significantly better than Aiden Hill right now. We'll see if Hill can get it together. I think Hill's going to have some motivation to play well in this game. Sammy had 2 starts in a row. Looked pretty good, Samsonov did. So I think Hill's going to want to remind the fan base that he's the man. It's his net, and nothing better than if he can shut down an Ottawa team that's going to score some goals.
Okay, the San Jose Sharks on Saturday will potentially come in here at 0-6-2. They played the game Thursday night in LA.
Yep. You just handle this.
We'll probably see Mackenzie Blackwood and net. They lost 7-8 games against the Kings in a row. Thomas Bordeleau sent to the Barracuda. Oh, here's some news for you. The rookie Macklin Celebrini is on the ice. He's back on the ice since October the 10th in the opener, and he had that hip injury, as we remember. He's listed as week to week, but he is back skating. We will not see him on Saturday night. Will Smith is up with the Sharks, but he was a healthy scratch last night. He's in the same category as Brendan Brisson, where he's not going hard after pucks, and of course, but he's a lot younger now as far as NHL experience goes than Brendan Brisson, but they're both in that same sort of boat. And on Saturday, that's when William Karlsson will be returning for VGK. So you were right about that one. It's a good call there.
How do you know Saturday? Did they say something?
Yeah, Cassidy said not Friday.
Okay, I didn't watch the press release.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not Friday, but Saturday. Oh, you didn't miss much. Well, all they talked about were the Halloween costumes, and then he said Karlsson would come back. That was his first comment. And then he said, hey, and then someone asked, did you check out all the costumes of all the players? He said, no. My wife went on whatever you call that thing. It's called Instagram. And then he was talking about him as a child and how he liked Halloween, and he really believes in this holiday, and it's great for the young players on this team. And all he saw were the Blue Men group. So, okay.
Listen, Halloween's fun, okay? It's not a forced religious holiday. I don't want to piss anyone off. I'll leave it.
Yeah, don't get people mad. Slow down.
I've been good at that. It's an optional holiday. It's an optional holiday. Halloween's cool. Celebrate it, enjoy it. But if that's not your thing, that's okay too. That's okay.
It's not my thing. Not my thing.
I'm not sure who's going tonight for the Sharks. I was trying to look, and then I kind of stopped caring.
It's tonight. As in Thursday. As in Thursday.
Yeah, whatever. Vanacek and Blackwood are the goalies. I mean, you got a 3.14 for Vanacek, a 4.0 for Blackwood. Save percentage is disrespectful.
Defense has been bad.
And 8.96. So
defense has been bad. It's been bad.
They're a bad team, but this is part of the process for the Sharks. They got to go through this. This is how these players are going to develop. I mean, I don't know what Celebrini's going to get out of this, but he's going to get ice time at some point. Will Smith, I mean, listen, very highly touted rookie, but 6 games, he's got a bagel as far as points. He's a -4, getting 13.
That's why they sat him down, right?
Of ice time. So
yeah,
I mean,
not getting it.
Get through the game healthy, win the game decisively. Samsonov obviously has been the better of the goalies right now. So, if the Golden Knights don't win that game on Saturday night going away, that's a concern. But I don't know. It should be a safe game, but you never know.
Yeah, and of course, again, I really like that over with all of the goals above expected. Goals expected above.
We might go over on Saturday night's game and on the Golden Knights game by itself.
I think it's an over game on Friday. So check that out. Okay, coming up next, it is that time of the week again. It is time for WTF. This one can be a doozy. Back with more right after this on Locked On Golden Knights. My eyeballs are hurting, folks. Of course, we've got FanDuel. It is the official sports betting partner of Locked On Golden Knights. And when you get a hunch in the middle of the game, you can check out the latest stats, view live play-by-play, and so much more on the same page where you place your bets. You'll get started with $200 in bonus bets, and that is guaranteed when you place your first $5 bet, of course, at FanDuel.com. So there are quite a number of games with all sorts of local interest plus, and we've got the big game at Allegiant Stadium. I got a scoop where the 300 level for the UNLV Boise State game on Friday night at 7:30 at Allegiant Stadium, that they would open up the 300 level, and I was absolutely correct. People are arguing with me that, how did I find out? Well, sources, #sources. Boise State -3.5, and the total is 64. Should be a heck of a game. The World Series starts on Friday night, first game. Dodgers -122 favorites. The total on that game is 8.5. And on Sunday, the Chiefs come to take on the Raiders, and the Kansas City Chiefs are 9.5-point favorites, and the total is 41.5. So make sure that you start the season off with a big return. Just go to FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Welcome back on this edition of Locked On Golden Knights. Tony Cardasco, there you go, and Mr. Chris Golick reporting. Of course, don't forget Saturday mornings, it is the Chris times Chris Jr. show. So it's that time for WTF. And so I just want to start off again. I just mentioned that a little bit, but Bruce Cassidy said on Thursday that Vegas Bjorn Karlsson will return on Saturday versus San Jose. And he also did stop short of saying Karlsson would replace, well, he goes, yeah, I can't say who he might replace. But then he goes, Cole Schmidt, you know what? He goes, wait, I just found out, I just heard that Cole Schmidt could play winger. So I'll tell coach that I played on the wing too, so I could stay in the lineup. So I think that's what happened there. So I thought he was going to come out of the lineup, but now I guess coach had asked around and he said, Cole, have you ever played on the wing? Yeah, coach, of course. What would you say? WTF right there. That's what I would say. I would say,
put me in, coach.
WTF, right? You would do the same thing.
I'd say WTF, I'm a winger.
Yeah, I'm a winger. I'm a wing man. I am a wingman.
WTW, what the wing?
Okay, so I still cannot get over WTF. Bruce Cassidy's goalie tryouts for Team Canada, Aiden Hill against Tampa and St. Louis. That's an absolute big time.
It's a Mount
WTF.
Rushmore. It's a Mount Rushmore.
Go ahead, man. You can go.
So I'll piggyback that really fast. If you watch Coach Cassidy talking about that in the presser, his body language got weird. It was just, it was like expected.
How much was he swaying?
No, it wasn't even, it was different. And
okay.
it was
In
like,
what matter? What
he
regard, bro?
knew something was going to come of that, people calling it out and like, hey, what the heck is this? So that's just a short WTF right there. Tua Tagovailoa was asked if he's going to wear a Guardian cap in future NFL games. He said no. And
that's a WTF.
He was asked by a media member why not, and he said personal decision. Everyone has their choice to handle their own body in their own way, and fine, he wants to play football and risk his health. That's his decision. If he's an adult, he can do that. But I don't like being immediately dismissive about it and just personal decision. No, I'm over. Like, there's kids watching him play. There's kids listening to his press conferences and what he has to say. He doesn't owe anyone anything, but I think going up there saying no, personal decision, and next question, I don't think that's responsible either. So WTF Tua. I had a fun day on social media on Thursday, courtesy of someone not being happy that I said I can say what I want on my Twitter handle. And as a result, a very long Twitter thread was born, Tony. A very long Twitter thread was born. I learned there's a lot of people that might not enjoy me at times, and that's fine. And to that, I would like to thank each and every one of you for liking, commenting, and subscribing, and clicking on today's pod audio and video. And my next gas station coffee I will cheers to each and every one of you because you guys just bought it for me. So thank you.
That's a WTF. We've got some good ones from the listeners. That was quite a fantastic thread. And I did tell that certain person who was coming after you, a little that blocked you, hey, unblock him so I could grab some popcorn and this could be fun.
At least she's got the number of the post game memorized.
WTF, Canadian media. This is from Clyde Matt, one of our good and loyal friends. Canadian media was saying on Tuesday that Montreal had contacted the Knights for a defenseman. Great chance for a fresh start for White Cloud. WTF. T.A. Nyman, WTF is Logan Hill. WTF is Logan Hill. WTF is Logan Hill. And why don't the ESPN guys look up names of the teams they clearly don't follow? WTF. We've got back-to-backs here. You think that the VGK back-to-back is pretty good here, where they play one team and then they have an exhibition game for tryouts? This is from RR32. Sorry. WTF. I am from Arizona and bought Friday's VGK versus Ottawa ticket and just saw Wild Bill is not returning now until Saturday. And then the back-to-back on the tail end, my second WTF. Now that Arizona is in the VGK marketing territory, the ESPN Plus VGK games are blacked out. They're blacked out in his area. Being from Vegas, I was never a Coyotes fan, but I want them to come back now. WTF. They're blacking out games in Arizona where VGK is trying to capitalize on the Coyotes flying the coop. I think that's hilarious. WTF. WTF. Lou Dog 777.
Regular.
Why do so many idiots call the last Friday of October Nevada Day? Nevada Day is October 31st, period. It is now observed on the last Friday. WTF. WTF.
It's like first Friday downtown.
Background 88851. That quote goalie rotation thing is genuinely hilarious. Please do your take on Cassidy's loyalties there. WTF. That is one of the funniest things I've ever heard. It's almost like you can't afford to give up a game or two. They lost one game because they were doing goalie tryouts. It's the most absurd thing I've ever heard of. So everyone now, this whole thing is going to be rigged for Team Canada. End of story. That's it. Team Canada will win the Four Nations.
Makes Team Canada, and Hill doesn't.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, the controversy.
What if they both make it?
WTF, too. Shay Theodore and the extension out of nowhere, right?
That's good. You were that's good, but that's a positive WTF, right?
That's a positive for you. For me, I like the drama. I just liked it being dragged out and wanted to see what would happen in the springtime here.
Well, Aiden Hill is going to be the drama. And there was a report that came out a week ago. There's been no contact as far as no discussions, but who knows about that. Jakor on YouTube, WTF. Every topic outside of hockey, I'm agreeing with Tony. Should I be worried? I like that one right there.
Yes, absolutely.
Gary Adrian. I'm not sure if that's like a first and a last name, or if Gary and Adrian share a social handle. Either way, it's fun. I think Chris needs to help Tony with his camera setup because Chris looks so good, and Tony is fuzzier than crap.
I am fuzzy.
I said,
and my backtrack. I got in trouble.
No,
remember?
I jumped in there. I said something about this is what happens when Tony's phone has hinges on it. So WTF, Tony, right there.
The flip phone it's working tonight.
It looks average-ish. You took the glasses off, so the focus is.
Oh, those is just hurting. Okay. My eyeballs,
not circumstances. Wasteland Goose. Wasteland Goose is here for the puns. I said, then you're gonna love us. So WTF, right there. And last one, Dustin Hines, 5148. Start Sammy and bench Tony.
Aiden Thompson. I don't know what's his name. Logan Hill.
It's Ilya Thompsonov.
Okay. This is Samsonite luggage guy. That's the guy.
Hey, Sammy's playing well. Give him credit.
He's playing very well. I think he's playing much better than anticipated. At least for me, he's played some soft teams. Let's face it. And
he's going to be a roller coaster with him, and he'll probably be the first one to tell you that. And his experience, with other teams will validate that. I mean, he's been some really good play. There's been a lot of posts involved, and he's a big goalie. He doesn't react as quickly, but his positioning hopefully makes up for it, and hopefully he's on the better side. And so far, so good. That's what matters. So far, so good.
Who's the next Vegas Golden Knight to get an extension? Any idea?
Samsonov.
You think so?
Hill, if he'll take less than $3 million, he won't.
He won't. So he'll be on the market. One final question here. How much do we think Shay Theodore would command on the open market in the springtime? Would it be about the same? Someone, Canadian radio was saying,
I think a little more.
Canadian radio said there's no way that they would pay someone like Theodore for a defenseman that much money. There aren't very many Canadian teams in Canada that are paying their defensemen, I guess, that kind of money. So pretty interesting.
Quinn Hughes, $8 million. We talked about that. I can go really fast here. I've got the defenseman
in Canada.
Let's see what the highest paid Canadian defenseman is
playing in Canada.
Edmonton, that doesn't count. Darnell Nurse, he's terrible.
Doesn't count. Oh yeah, of course. Darnell Nurse is what? Is he 9? What's he making?
No, Darnell Nurse is 9.25.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Jake Sanderson, $8 million, and he's a young player, Ottawa.
Okay.
And Thomas Chabot also $8 million. So there's some truth to that, actually. And also there's another part of that, Tony. Shay Theodore, and this might have been the same video you watched. Shay Theodore is going to pay a lot more in taxes if he were to get signed by a Canadian team.
Oh, is that right?
So if they want to pay him $8.8 million in Canada, that still doesn't equate to what it's about what his contract would be here. And then the other side, I mean, I think Shay Theodore did give a little bit of a hometown discount here as well.
Yeah,
whether it's the tax, who cares?
He got term at 7.
He got term. This is good. Shay Theodore signed a really nice deal, and of course now here come the Jonathan Marchessault, so Shay Theodore comparables.
Oh, that's a really good deal, and I just wonder what
it's a good deal for everybody. It's a good deal for everybody.
Yeah. I'm wondering, and did that play a part in the negotiations? They didn't want to go through this again. Number one.
I think a minor part.
Number two, is it kind of a burn against Marchessault? Because the made men, they're all about that.
Marchessault's over it. Who cares?
Okay. So are we. Of course, we appreciate everyone tuning in. Happy Nevada Day-ish, because it's not really until the 31st. Thanks, Lou Dog. Of course, on Saturday, it is the Chris times Chris Jr. show, and we appreciate everyone tuning in around the globe.
Everybody tuning in. Everybody tuning in.
Yes, tuning in. And please keep us in your threads, good and bad comments, because all of a sudden a major surge in the downloads today. So thanks for giving us the pub. Hey, you know what, though? We're not going after clickbait. Do we seem like a couple of dudes that are trying to get clickbait? No, we're just presenting the best alternative known to stinking mankind. Again, we appreciate our everydayers. Thank you so much. I didn't know where I was going. For my man, Chris Golick, we are out of here on this Thursday night and weekend edition of Locked On Golden Knights. Folks, back again on Monday. Please take care.